for all things Halloween. This is Hauntformer, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made the Purge Election Year Statue of Liberty mask. The first step in the mask making build is to gather all of your supplies. Now there are quite a bit, so make sure to get everything as needed before you build. It's a good tip. I didn't have a few supplies before I started, and it's definitely regrettable when you really want to get going on the mask. That being said though, let's start off with the paint. So the paint is just on a standard plastic mask that I picked up at a local Halloween shop. Now the paint I used was a mixture of dark and light greens, and I also, as you'll see in a moment, used some lighter reds for the blood on top of the mask. Though a lot of this is going to be covered up by the LEDs in a little bit, the paint definitely gives a great base to the mask. I also decided to paint the crown for the Statue of Liberty. Now I picked up the crown at the local Halloween shop I mentioned earlier, but you can probably order one online or get it from a costume of the Statue of Liberty. You're also going to want to hot glue or in some way attach the crown to the mask, that way it won't fall off when you're wearing it. Alright, time for the tricky part. It's actually not too bad when you get the hang of it, but the lights are probably one of the most difficult parts of this mask build. So, what are these lights, you're probably asking? Well, from what I believe, these are LED EL wire lights that I found online. They're not too expensive, they range from about $10 to $20, but when they're on this mask, it's certainly worth the money. These are the green version, and they were actually pretty long. I'm not sure of the exact distance, but they were definitely long enough to have some extra after completing the mask. Basically, what I did is I cut various holes all throughout the mask where I needed to and pulled the wire lights through. Now it gets a little tricky because you have to pull the lights through each time you want to make a full loop in the mask, but it actually does work really well and it should hold in your mask. I also went ahead and added a strap to the back of the mask. The one I had on there kind of snapped off and it was a little loose, but that's okay because this one will work just fine. It was basically some like hair tie I found at a store, and I just cut it and tied it onto the sides of the mask. And with that, your mask should be pretty much completed. If you want to put the battery pack anywhere else, feel free to, but I just kind of left it hanging there. You could probably clip it on the inside of your shirt if you want to, but it's not that big of a deal to me personally. Thank you all so much for watching this build, and though I don't condone of the violence in the Purge movies, I do really think they are interesting and scary movies. Make sure to watch The Purge Election Year when it hits theaters this summer, and also make sure to subscribe to Hauntformer for all things Halloween. Thank you again for watching, and remember, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.